Hi everyone and happy Monday. We have a really pretty picture in Johanna Basford's planner page today to have a go at. Now it's a sort of wallpapery type design which I really like, and it is a repeating pattern, so I thought I would just do sort of one section of it and then the rest will be the same. We do have it's slightly cut off on each end with the these sort of teardrop shapes, but I will do them, they will look the same anyway because it's a symmetrical design. So I'm just going to do this section here, and although these bits are cut off, it should make sense anyway. So I'm going to come in a little bit closer and actually tuck my book under, I think, to make it, it's quite tricky to frame it, isn't it? Actually, I might just come in close and try to remember to move it around for you. I think what we'd do is we'd just start at the top and just move our way down. I think that'll be the easiest way to do it. Now I'm going to use my Castle Arts Gold. I've picked out a few pencils already, unlike me, I know, and because I had this sort of palette in mind. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm starting with this Cobalt Turquoise green, and I'm going to do all the stems with this. So I'm just going to make a start. I've sharpened it quite well, and I'm going to sort of think about the leaves as I go, really. I'm going to, I think that one, I'll put a dark piece there, and then just slightly fade it, and we'll get in and we'll get our next colour. Now my idea for this page came from a picture I did in Irene the Inky Butterfly. I'm not sure what day that video goes out. If it goes out today, it'll be quite funny because they're the same palette. But I'm not sure when it's scheduled for. And I did a feather which was blue on a sort of green background, and I really liked the colours together, so I thought we'd do it for this. So we've got these, this is our green, but it's quite bluey, and then we've got some blues to go with it, and I'm hoping it all works nicely together. I haven't swatched them, which is probably, I have looked at my, I've got my swatch chart here from the set. I have looked at that, and I think it's going to work. So that's my idea. Now with these leaves that are touching, you could put a darker layer between them to make it look like there's some sort of shadow, but I'm not going to worry about that. This page is more about the colour than about getting perfect shading and things like that. I just am hoping to make a sort of impact with the colour. I'm thinking, imagine this was wallpaper up on the wall, how it would look. And of course, if you know anything about Johanna's real past history, you might know that she did design wallpaper. And in fact, I'm just having a check that you're in shot, sudden paranoia, that she actually printed it herself, like lino printing, I think it was. I'm not really up on these techniques, but she made wallpaper, and as I say, printed it herself, which is quite amazing. Imagine having a bit of Johanna Basford original wallpaper on your wall. That would be quite amazing, wouldn't it? But obviously these designs are a bit different, because of course she used to do everything in black and white, so her wallpaper was black and white. What a statement that would be. But in fact, we have a black and white picture above our fire. It's a zebra, and it's rather a nice statement piece with a white wall behind it. Works rather well. But it'd be quite interesting, wouldn't it? I think maybe colouring a Johanna piece just in black and white. The thing is, her paper isn't white, it's slightly cream, so that wouldn't quite, it wouldn't look black and white. You'd have to either use one of her downloads or find a book with white paper. I'm sure some of her books have white paper, but I'm not sure now. So I'm fading this up a little bit, gone a bit further than on here. I shouldn't perhaps have gone so far up, because we're going to use a slightly lighter shade on the leaves. And all the way down. I think this page is going to take a little while, but that's okay. Okay, now we have these filled in areas here. I'm going to ignore those at the minute. I haven't really thought through what to do with those. Let's see, okay. Excuse me. So again, just doing a bit of each leaf. We'll finish those off. All of the stem I may have to resharpen in a minute, but I'm not one for staying in the lines anyway, so it's not like it's going to have a huge difference. It's the sun shining already this morning. There's a tree outside my window, and there's some on the sunlight is on the wall to the, I'm trying to think, right, my left and right, I don't know, my right, and it's sort of shimmering, the sunshine. It looks almost like water, you know, when the light catches the water on the underside of a bridge or something like that. It looks almost like that. Now, I don't think these are leaves, so I'm not going to do those. I think I would probably do those in my blue, one of my blue shades. I'm keeping a very limited, just seeing what's in shop, this middle bit. Keeping a very limited palette for this one. And you can have a look and decide if you like that idea. But you can switch it up a bit. I'm just going to sharpen. If you would prefer to use a different shade of green, or use pinks or purples or something like that, you know, you can switch it up. But I sometimes think with a complex, I think this is, in my opinion, is quite a complex design. Simplifying it with colour can help to just make it less daunting to colour, but also I think when it's finished it can look rather less complex. So, but it's, you know, up to you. I sometimes think, I've seen this page done lots of times, and I have seen each flower done in different colours, and it does look really pretty. But with the greenery all kept the same colour. That's another way of doing it. So that, or you could colour all the greenery different shades of green, or if you want to do green, obviously you don't have to, and then keep the flowers all the same colour, and that will help to sort of simplify the design. But as I say, I've seen it done in lots of different ways. I don't think I've ever seen it done with a background, or much of a background. It's not something I'm going to do either. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm thinking with wallpaper, some wallpaper has a coloured background, thinking William Morris, that sort of thing. I'm going to come up a little bit. There we go. I think that's the rest of the design now. You know, some of it does, you know, but quite often, I remember wallpaper from when I was a child very often had a white background. In my bedroom, what did I have? I had like, they looked a bit like gerbera daisies, but they were orange and yellow, 1970s colours. There's when we moved into the house, that was the wallpaper, so it remained. I know in my sister's bedroom there were racing cars on the wall, because there'd been a little boy in the bedroom before, and that got taken off really quickly and was replaced by some sort of purple paper. And I can't remember what my parents had in their room. I know the sitting room had a sort of orangey browny design, very 70s. And the sofas, I know my mum and dad had black leather sofas, which but as we got older, they had them when they first got married. As we got older, the leather ripped, so they got some, and my mum actually made some covers for them, and they were mustard and black. I remember the fabric, it was like a stretchy polyester. I really didn't like it. So So that was the colours, but they changed the sitting room colour because what they had was a statement piece of wallpaper above the fire on the sort of fireplace, on the chimney, I guess, because they couldn't afford to do the whole house, the whole room. So they had this orangey piece to start with when they moved in, and so they kept the idea of having a statement piece, and but replaced it with a piece that had woven wool in sort of different browns and greens. It was interesting. I've never seen anything like it before or since. But I remember it was really easy to rip off the wall when we took it down. But it's interesting that all the way back then you had a statement piece of wallpaper. That seems to have come back into fashion. A statement wall or something like that, particularly in the UK anyway. Now I'm just having a look to see if I've done it all, and I think I have. So I'll show you the next colour that I'm going to do. I just got to get my hanky with it. Sorry, my nose always wants to run. It doesn't run when I'm not recording videos. The Jade Green Light is what I'm going to use to do the ends of all the leaves. And I think it's a really similar colour. You could, in fact, it's so similar you can hardly tell there's more than one colour. You might on the bigger leaves. You could probably get away with just using one. Well, I can see it's different there. But as I say, you could probably get away with just using one colour if you felt inclined to. So I couldn't decide what to wear this morning because I never know what the weather's going to be. I asked my husband, he said it's going to be 18 degrees. And I thought, okay. And I said, but what temperature was it yesterday? Because I wanted to sort of compare, thinking about my temperature yesterday and how warm I felt and what I was wearing. He said, well, I can't go back in time. The weather forecast doesn't go backwards. So I just put on long sleeves, as you can see. And I'm hoping that I won't get too hot. But we'll find out later. It's already sunny. I'll be staying in today. I've got some parcels coming. I've had to order a new keyboard and mouse. The keyboard is getting I'm going out of shot, aren't I? Let's do this bit. The keyboard was getting sticky keys. So when I typed, I would type hello to somebody and there'd be about 30 L's. And it looked a bit strange. And the mouse, the little wheel thing, hasn't been working properly for ages. It spins a little bit and you get, oh good, I can scroll through this page, and then suddenly it's like, nah, can't scroll anymore. So I've got the new mouse has already arrived, but the keyboard's coming, and my son's birthday present, so that's nice. He's ordered a book, which is quite interesting. My one son doesn't read that much, and he's the other one who does read hasn't ordered a book, but he wants to gain, and it's expensive, so, but that's okay. He'll enjoy it, and he just won't get anything else. And they all have fun. The birthdays are a bit different as you get older. Oh, I've missed that one, look. You know, they do still get excited, and they like the food. There'll be some sort of takeaway, no doubt. Although my one son likes curry, and we're having, because we may not have a kitchen at that time when they've got a birthday, I said he can't have his curry until we've got a kitchen, because I don't want curry being spilled on my carpet, because we'll be eating in the sitting room. Do I need to pull this up a bit now? Yeah. So I've said he'll have to wait for his birthday curry or have it early, but we haven't got a date yet, so we're still waiting. It feels like we made the decision and now everything's really slow. You just sort of like, we're having it done. I want it done now. But we did have a good meeting with the builders. They seem lovely chaps. They're happy to do the job. They think they can do it. They can do it within our time scale because they've got little jobs on. They can fit around us, which is nice. So we've just got to try and be patient, and patience is not my thing. Ask any of my family. They'll laugh hilariously if I say you need to be patient. They'll be like, yeah, mum, yeah, right. Right, we're coming to the end of our leaves. I rather like this colour. I think it's quite a calming colour. It's not one that I often use for leaves. I usually use a much more less bluey green, but I just wanted to try something different. My lead's getting a bit wobbly, isn't it? I'm probably pressing too hard. I find these Castle Art Gold are a little bit more delicate on the breakage point of view, but it might just be my experience. It's always difficult to know because, you know, obviously we buy these pencils through the post, most of us, or even if we buy them from a shop, they've been through the post at some point. So we don't know if they've been dropped, and our tin might not behave in the way of somebody else. So I think it's always wise. Right, Indigo Light. I'm going to do my flower centres. Okay, so here, for example, can you see? Yes. I'm going to do the centre, the dark, extra lots of layers around the edge and less in the middle, and then start off each petal just a little bit, and I'm going to follow that pattern through with all of these flowers, so do a darker bit at the top. Yeah, so if you're trying to decide on whether to buy a set of pencils, let's go up a bit, don't just take one person's point of view. It's certainly worth looking at several different, I've missed a bit there on the green. It's certainly worth, there we go, worth looking at several different people's points of view. If you're in a Facebook colouring group, ask people there what their opinions are. I mean, it's hard because we all like different things. You know, if someone said to me, which is your favourite, prisms or polys, I would say polys. But I haven't had my prisms for long, I might change my mind later. But if you ask someone who always coloured with prismas since school, they'd probably say prismas, you know. So it is a little bit personal, and that's why I always say to people, if you can, buy a few pencils open stock, i.e. just buy a couple. Try those first and see what you think before you buy a whole set. Now, I've bought a few prismas like that before I had my whole set, and I had them for years, and it took me a long time to sort of get used to them, and this and eventually I decided I wanted the whole tin. And I don't use it all the time, but then I've missed a leaf there, look. I've got a lot of different sets, and I like to use different sets for different things. Choosing a set can be daunting if you've got a lot of sets though. I sometimes think it'd be easier just to stick to one, but I feel very spoilt that I've got lots of sets, and it is a lot of fun. It means that if you want certain colours, like I did on this page, I picked the set which I felt had the colours that I wanted. So that can help. Also the feel. Some sets work better on some papers. For example, lately I've had quite a few books which are US Amazon paper. Now the US Amazon paper is quite rough in that textured, so it doesn't suit all pencils very well. It leaves a lot of white. You know how you can see the white paper showing through? It does that a lot. Now sometimes I'm quite happy to see that showing through anyway, or you can use it as part of your shading to really emphasize your lighter areas. But what I find is certain pencil sets work a lot better in them for me. I find a softer pencil can be better because you can get a more vibrant look with a textured paper. It takes a lot of layers to get a vibrant look with something like a polychromos pencil. So I use my Prismas or my Black Widows, something vibrant, and they seem to work well. And I also found I've got some tripless felt pens, which I won in a competition, Staedtler competition, they're Staedtler pens. and I've been sort of thinking, I've had these for ages, I need to use them before they dry up, you know, because obviously felt pens don't last forever. My other blue is a Cerulean Blue, okay, and I'm going to go back like I did with the leaves and just blend it up. I'm going to go right over that dark because there's quite a difference between the two colours, to blend it up together. So I've been using these felt pen and they work so well. The paper seems to absorb it, it goes through. Okay, so you have to be careful. The book I was using them in is single-sided pages, so I put a couple of sheets of paper behind so that it doesn't bleed through to the page behind, and you can see it all on the back of the page, but you know, I don't mind because you know, it's single-sided, so it's okay. So I've been doing that and using those, and they look so much more vibrant, and the paper just seems to love them. I had never used a felt tip pen in a Johanna Basford book, so I don't know how it would work on that sort of quality paper. But as I say, I've been working really well in those books. I've been having a lot of fun doing. You will have seen them actually if you watched my pages I coloured in June video, because I did it in there. I did lots of from that book, from my mandala book, because my friend who bought it for me wanted us to do lots of buddy colours, and she's got really enthusiastic about colouring in it, so we've been doing lots of pictures together, which has been fun. I find they're quite quick as well, for me, compared to something like this, which has got lots of little details. They're quite fast. Probably take about the same amount of time as this page, to be honest, though. I always think they're going to be really quick, and then it'll take a bit longer because there's not lots of intricate shading and things like that. It's quicker, but you can do that on a mandala, but I usually don't. Usually I do one because I'm just in the mood for something really easy and simple, and just a simple colour scheme. So that's nice. If you just want something relaxing, you have to think about, you know, you can look at it and think, oh, I'll just do 2 shades of blue and off I go. Oh, look at that leaf I haven't finished. This is always going to be something that happens on this sort of intricate design. You're going to miss little bits, but once you go back through you can spot them, hopefully. Just make sure I picked up the right pencil. That wouldn't have been good, would it? And you might want to use a blue that's a little bit closer to the dark blue. It's completely up to you, but I'm quite happy with this shade. Let's pull down again, get the last bit in shot so we can make sure you see it all. Now you could do, if you wanted to do a background on this, I think I would, on this particular, if you're using these exact colours, I would probably get a soft pastel and go over the whole thing. The only thing is you have to be a bit careful that your pencil doesn't smudge if you press too hard, but I think it'd be okay. And I think I would choose a shade of, I'm trying to think, I'm not sure. I would probably do pink, pale pink maybe, because that's the colour that I'm going to be doing the butterflies in, and I will show you that. Purple, actually, pinky purple, the colour that calls itself purple that I always call pink because I'm just weird, I guess. For me, a purple is a really deep dark colour, like that to me looks pink, but it's called mauve, and that to me looks pink, and that, but they're all called purple. So obviously we don't all agree on our colour names, but it doesn't matter, does it? As long as we know what we're on about. Now I'm just going to do those bits. Now we've got these little hanging down bits here and a few dots and the water. And I'm looking at our colour and I'm thinking I'm going to go back to the indigo light to do a few last bits. So these bits I think I'm going to do in indigo. I thought I would wait until I'd done the flower and decide what I thought would look the best, and I think the indigo is going to work better. It will just show up like that, and then in the middle here we have these dots, and I always decided that they will be the same colour as our sort of teardrop shapes. Now what I'm going to try and do is do a little darker around the edge and lighter in the middle, but that's going to be tricky on those little ones, but on this big one hopefully I can achieve that. There we go. Now you don't have to use this brand of pencil. I know not that many people probably have these because they're fairly new, but equivalent colours you'd be able to find in most sets, I would imagine. I mean, you've got your phthalo blue, your light phthalo, no sorry, phthalo green, light phthalo green in your polychromos would work for the greens, and for the blues you could use your middle phthalo blue and the dark indigo or something like that. Maybe a helio turquoise rather than an indigo might even work better. Okay, I'm just going to fiddle with that. Can't see what I'm doing. Oh, you can. There we go. Okay, we've got our butterflies. Now the butterflies, I'm trying to work out if they are random or not, because we've got one there. Come out and have a look at the whole page. You can look at with me. Let's see. So we've got this one here, and he repeats here, so I don't think that's random. Yeah, that one there and that one there. And then we've got one here and one here. So no, they're not random. There's 3, because there's one over here as well. He's different. Okay, I want to do all the butterflies in pink. I think it will work. In the purpley pink that I said I think is pink, but it's called purple. Where are we? We've got these two, I think. Oops, it's going to roll away. Oh, bear with me. I think it's this colour that I want. Yeah. So I want purple and purple light. Now, look at those 2 pencils. Tell me which you think is the light. So this one looks darker, doesn't it? That's the purple light and that's the purple. Explain that. I don't know. If you look at the swatch chart, that's the purple light and that's the purple. So to me the purple light looks darker. And I'll show you on the paper. It's rolling away. Let's go back in close again. I'm going to show you just one butterfly and I'm going to do them all the same. So I'm going to sort of ignore their shape and their markings. So I'm going to start with the purple light and do the central part near the body. And I want it dark. She's contradicting herself. And fading out to there. And the same here, so fading out towards the edge of the wing. And a dark bit in there, fading out, the same here. Then I'm going to grab my purple, ooh, my pencil just rolled away, and continue that to the end of the wing, like that. I'm just thinking about what to do with the body. I think we'll do it in the... I know it's a bit samey. You could do it in a grey. I don't really want to introduce any new colours. Now, I'm very aware that we have this bit here and I'm going to ignore it. I feel like I don't want to introduce a new colour. I don't know what to do with it. It's the only little bit like that in the whole page, and I'm just going to pretend it isn't there. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to obviously do exactly the same on all the other bits. Now what you could do if you're feeling adventurous is you could reverse this, so on this side or on this one or this one you could have the blue on the leaves and the green on the flowers if you wanted to, and then just keep all the butterflies the same for consistency, or you can just make it, I'm going to make it all the same. Okay, so it's up to you, but that you could just mix it up just a little bit, or you could do all of these different colours, you know, if you want to. But I'm just thinking if this was my wallpaper I probably wouldn't have that pink on there, but apart from that I would want that the same through. So that's that. So I'm going to finish now. I'm going to complete this and give you a finished snap at the end so you can see what it looks like on the whole page. It's quite easy to see what it might look like anyway. As I say, I'm not going to do a background, but I would probably pick up that pink, very delicate though, not as bright as that, just a little bit of delicate pink behind with a pastel if you were going to do one. I'm not going to. I think the white helps this to stand out and gives it a good background. But there we go, that's me. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely Monday. Enjoy your day and happy colouring.